What's going on, everybody? It's your man Chuck Creekmur, aka Jigsaw, and I am here with a modern day goat, Jonathan Majors. How you doing, man?
I'm really, really good, brother. Blessed. Good to
Good.
see you, man. Nice to meet you.
You too, man. I'm a huge fan, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
Appreciate
This
it.
is this is a real treat, and I have to admit, Magazine Dreams feels like your magnum opus. It feels like apex apex thespian acting. You know what I mean? It really feels next level. I saw it, and I cried, man, at the by the end. You guys really sewed it up, and I was in the car even on the way home, just tearing up.
Yeah.
um I have to ask, first of all, let me ask you this: how are you? Well, you said you're good, but spirit wise, everything, all the things are clicking now.
We're firing on all cylinders, man.
Yeah,
And I got a great backup. So
yeah.
she's holding me down, and I'm just happy, man. I'm just happy. Yeah.
Good, good, good. That's first and foremost, by the way, understand.
Thank
The other parts of it is looking at the complexity of Killian Maddox, and physically, mentally,
you.
like pretty much everything.
Hmm.
Did you take any special preparations in this? Did you do something different than you would have in other roles?
Yes, there was a moment when I read the script where I thought this is it's funny that you said that, magnum opus, or I try to make everything that way, you
Uh-huh.
know, and there are certain roles that require certain things. You never want to overstuff something, right? It's like it's actually not called for. We don't need that. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Um, Here with Killian Maddox, there was a role where it was like you got to get. I threw everything at it, and then had to go find things, and worked with a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful my godmother, Michelle Shea, and really trying to get into the psychology of this guy, and what I found was that in many ways he was a superhero. He was
Mhm.
superhuman. He felt everything. He could make his body do things that other guys and gals couldn't do. And so I had to apply everything I had. The difference in this role was it was the first time that my philosophy that the body and the mind are connected. Um, Especially in the work, really came to fruition because I say, like, yes, there was a lot of training, there was a lot of eating, it was a lot of stuff. It was very intense, as y'all can imagine, to make the body do that.
Right.
But those things became rehearsal for me, right? And so I could remember, like, that's impossible to push up 315. You know what I mean? Like I can't do that, but I gotta find a part of me that can, right? And what I found with Killian is like he works from the most powerful part of himself all the time, you
Right.
know, and and because of that, he's fatigued. You know what I mean? I think there's a line where he says, "I'm tired. I'm just
Yeah.
tired." Like how could he
Mhm.
not be? So that's what was novel about this situation. The extremity, the extreme nature of the training, then married itself to um, I guess, the extreme nature of the emotionality of the picture and how he had to move and shift so quickly in certain scenes.
Okay. Elijah Bynum, the director,
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
gotta put some respect on his name here.
yeah.
Did
That's
did an amazing job here. Um, but one thing I wanted to touch on is,
mm,
he said it's more about the human experience, not so much a racial
mhm,
experience.
mhm,
However, I will admit to feeling triggered, in the
mhm,
movie, in particular the interaction with the police.
mhm,
Um, I feel like it differentiates itself from some of the movies they've compared it to.
mhm,
Taxi Driver has been thrown out there, The Joker, but
mhm,
you've mentioned that this is unique to the Black experience cinematically.
mm.
Can you talk about that a little bit? How this is I can't name a character, an African American character that we've seen this in
Mhm, mhm.
the
I
way
mean,
Killing.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I agree with you, brother. I mean, that was my pull to it.
yeah,
Bynum is correct when he says, it's a human story.
Okay.
Absolutely. But it also needs to be understood that we as a species, right? There's tribes, there's clans, there's groups, there's
Mhm.
and and so I'll ride with him on that. But here's a man that is moving through society, um, in a society where he is in many ways the outlier and a pariah.
Mhm.
So why is he that way? Well, one, because he's a neurodivergent, right? Which is something that makes you a minority, right? He's also, like, for instance, um, here's a fun fact: 1% of the male population on the planet can lift 315 pounds, right?
Mm.
Bench press, right?
Right.
That's just a fact, yes, you may be powerful in that way, but that also makes you a minority, right? And
Right.
then you have the way we move through the world, right? The costume, right? Um, how he dresses, and then
Mhm.
ultimately, right, how he looks, right, and his neurodivergence, his arrested development, his past trauma, um, and the society that he moves in, where he is. If you look at the picture, how many other African Americans do you see in the space, minus the guys you see on the stage, right?
Right. Yeah.
You want to say, like, African Americans are minorities. That is a fact, right?
Right.
Being a minority is a part of the human experience. So I would say we're both right in that way. For me, as an actor, right, I first approached everything as a human being, but my human experience, right, is of course colored through how I've experienced being a human, you
Right.
know?
Mhm.
So I don't live in yes, I grew up in a black household and went to a black high school, but then
Mhm.
went to places where they were not predominantly black. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So then I have to then adjust and move and shift. And so there's a different me that they're meeting because I'm moving in a different society. And before they know my name, they know what I look like. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Mhm.
And because of the world we live in, people have prejudgments, pre-prejudices, ideas, that they project.
Yeah.
It's not
Mhm.
always, Klansmen and this and this and this, but there
Yeah.
is a sense of we are different,
Right.
right? Right?
Mhm.
Why we're different? Because you want us to be,
Right.
but we are different, right? You see me as something different from you, therefore I have to operate in a different way,
Mhm.
primarily because the society that I'm moving through, right? I do not have the power, I do not have the infrastructure, I do not have the resources, right,
Right.
to level up in a certain way, you
Yeah.
know. In other ways, yes, but in day-to-day interactions, maybe not so much. That's
Yeah.
key, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
I was watching the interview with the Breakfast Club. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
Uh, you mentioned very briefly being hypnotized in your healing process. I
Yeah.
see. They didn't follow up on that.
Right, 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 right.
I heard that loud and clear. I wanted
Right.
to ask, what could you
Yeah,
expound
I'll
on?
touch on it, man. I'll touch on it. It's no biggie. Like, yeah, I was in it's funny. This part is funny, right? So I met this is crazy. So I met this hypnotist. I was just talking with him,
Okay,
with her. I met this hypnotist in Hawaii when we were visiting with my father-in-law.
okay,
And they just happened to have an office, or a little setup in LA. And this is when I was right in the middle of, recruiting my team, my healing team, and so I was like, I was trying everything. You know what I mean? It was Christian based. It was all these things that she was saying the right things. And
mhm,
we met up, and we never got to the hypnosis, but we got to the going into places of the mind, going into places of, in space. And
mhm,
and the mind is an incredible instrument, and if you open something up there, things can happen, and so in a hypnosis therapy session, we were
yeah,
having this chat, and you're in a place of vulnerability, and you begin to say things, and you say things that come from you that you don't know you experienced, or you
mhm,
feel that
right,
way, and that began to open up more doors and more doors and more doors to um yeah, growth and healing and self-awareness. So I only did one session, but
okay,
It was impactful. It was
Right.
impactful. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Um, I'm an admitted comic nerd from way back in the day, since birth. The Incredible Hulk's my favorite.
Oh,
Um,
it's
I
nice.
have yeah, I'm an I wish I could show you my house here. It's riddled with stuff. Um, knowing you were playing Kang was just another one of those things. But the character is another extremely complicated, complex, multi-layered super villain. Uh,
Mhm,
that's again, that's fantasy, but it seems like you would have similar preparation with that character too, like the
mhm.
complexities of it. Was there something you did special or different?
Well, yeah, for Kang, I mean, because we're talking about Kang, and then there's all the variants of Kang.
Yes,
Which I've
exactly.
so I took let's just talk about Kang Prime, right? So from Quantum Mania, Ant-Man. Um, my preparation with him was to, look historically, at what a conqueror is, what a dictator is, what a tyrant is, and kind of look into those biographies and try to figure out where they line up. Also, do my comic book Bible work and go, okay, so you got Thanos, you got Loki, they all need this super thing they're trying to go for, all these things. That's just homework. That's just
Yeah,
being a
yeah.
professional. But when it gets to his emotional life, right, his idea of time was
Mhm,
such a component that I loved. You know what I mean? Like, what is it to be all knowing?
mhm,
What is that? And when does time get away from you? What's your relationship to it? And then of course, like the fun part of trying to find what does he sound like? How does he move? What does he, all these things. And it was a cornucopia of like pulling from YouTube and this link and looking at these paintings of these, regal conquerors or kings and all these things. So yeah, that preparation was pretty intense. I guess that one's different because I started using masks, right? I do a lot of, it's theater, so I
mhm.
do a lot of mask work, and the masks that I used for Kang were, I had not used them before. I own them, but I hadn't used them before, and I had two made for him, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, that's a whole
Was it
different.
was it his mask, or was it or something else?
It was. So think of it this way, like the mask you see, right? There's layers to it, right? And if the
Mhm.
first layer is one character, one energy, and the next is another energy, it's all these layers on top of each other that then give you Kang, right?
Okay,
Right.
gotcha.
And that's why when I was given the opportunity to shift and play, say, a Victor Timely, right? Believe it
Mhm.
or not, Victor Timely was already in that Kang mask, right?
Okay,
And so
okay.
from there, right? But then, oh yeah, and then it goes to Nathaniel Richards, and like,
Mhm.
what is he? Who is he? So yeah, that was a lot of fun, but a lot of homework. So that was different too.
Okay, and, off the record, or not, well, it's on the record, but,
So let's see, we're
you know,
recording on the record.
we're recording. My certified squad, we're starting the, petition to get you back in the Marvel Universe. You don't have to comment on it. I'm just letting you know it's happening, all right? I'm just throwing that out there. Where we need you there. We need you. That's what I'm saying. But, if you could relive, any year of your life, knowing you can't change anything, but you can just relive a year of your life, what year would you go back to, and like what was happening in that year?
I would say, 2000, 2013,
Okay.
no, 2014, because my
Okay.
daughter was born
Mm,
just the beginning months and year of her life.
yeah.
I'd like to do that again.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
do that again.
Um, so what is now in your life right now,
Yeah.
all things considered, what does success look like for you? What does it look like? What is success?
Success looks like waking up in the morning, rested,
Hmm.
kissing my wife, going
Hmm.
to the gym,
Hmm.
working my brain, working my body, um, coming home, hanging out with my wife, hanging out with my dogs,
Yeah.
um, and then make some art. you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Make some
Right.
art that's really gonna touch people and
Yeah.
really the people at large, you know? Like it's my personal, perhaps selfish drive, you know. I feel that's what I want to do. I feel like if God didn't want me to do it, he take the desire from me, you know.
Mhm.
It'd be
Right.
too painful
Right.
to have and not be able to do, you know. And so, I've actually had conversations like that. If it's not, just make it easy for me, God. You know, if it's not for me, then just like take the taste away, you
Right.
know. And all He's done is enhance it. So I know something's coming. I mean, we got two things on on deck. So yeah, I
Right.
can't wait to get back out there and give you guys something else.
All right. I was thinking, you know, Megan was in the DC universe. You were in the Marvel universe. Maybe
Right.
y'all just, start a universe the way you've done in real life. Maybe that's
We have started a universe.
yeah.
We do have yeah. Yeah, I mean, I do anything with her. I'm doing the best movie with her, Life. You know, so
Yeah.
it and we work well together. We work really well together. Like I've helped her with some stuff. She's helped me with some stuff. I was like, oh, this is good. Oh yeah, of course it's good. You're in love and you know each other and you believe in each other. So yeah, I that's definitely gonna happen. I can call it. Yeah, that's gonna happen.
All right. And just briefly, if you could, can you just speak to the new projects you have? I mean, I've kind of seen them, but just talk about it a little bit.
Right. So I guess I'll speak about two of them. So one is I would call it a sci-fi thriller drama, right?
Mhm.
Um, um, Called Merciless, directed by Martin Villeneuve. We're gonna shoot that a little bit down the road. And then there's another picture, which is a great story about this man who is a CIA agent who uh, essentially gets caught up in this spiritual realm,
Right.
and the spiritual realm becomes dark, and he's got to deal with that. And ultimately, it's a story about a man. How far will a man go to save his wife from this spiritual uh, damnation? I guess, right?
Okay.
And then the other one is a bit more. It's full on action. Think the raid. Gerard McMurray is making it. We're making it right for the culture. You know, super commercial, popcorn. You know, type vibe,
Okay.
but it's gonna be dope. I think our aim is to make you know one of the dopest action films ever made. You know, there's a lot of it's not blue screen. It's like I mean, I start
Yeah.
training next week. I start training next week. You know, so it's gonna be real. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Awesome. Last question. I don't know how much are you into hip hop at all?
Am I in hip hop at all?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yeah, I think so. Unless you feel like
Okay.
if it's multiple choice, definitely.
All right, bet. I just need, if you will, your top five dead or alive
Top five
rappers.
rappers.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I can do this. Pac,
Okay.
Nipsey,
Oh man. Yeah.
um, yo, I'm gonna say it. Kendrick,
Okay. Yeah.
um, do I mean this? Yeah, Nas,
Okay.
uh, oh, no, I think I'm gonna go with Cameron.
Cameron.
I love him, bro.
Okay.
Love him.
Okay. Do you
Um,
have a favorite song from Cameron?
I
That
like
that
I used to just like his the last joint I'm listening to now, where he
okay.
sampled Angelo. That's fire. And Scarface? Do I think Scarface? No, Jadakiss.
Jadakiss. All right, you got that. We'll throw Scarface in there too. That'll work.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
give you excellent.
yeah.
Hey man, I hope to at some point be able to shake your hand, man. I'm so happy for you, man, in terms of we all stumble, we all have, life is a journey, and you've put in the work, you've done the work. And I mean what I say, obviously we have our Mount Rushmore, Denzel and Sydney and all that, but in the current right now, I really do feel like you're one, you know, a goat, you know what I mean? And I really have enjoyed your work, man. And I can't say it anymore. I can't give you flowers right now, but if I could, I would.
Thank you, brother.
Definitely. I appreciate your time and best wishes.
I'll see you down the road, bro.
All right.
Jigsaw. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hey, thank you.
Salute, bro. Salute.
Respect. Salute.